Welcome to Sugar Daddy's podcast, where we get real about love, money, and everything in between. I'm your host, Namon Jones, here with my co-host, Diopla Sample. What's up, D?
What's going on, Namon?
Man, they say love don't cost a thing, but what about companionship?
Hey, man, we just two grown-ass men having real talk, making real connections.
Welcome to another episode of Sugar Daddies. That's right,
it.
Sugar Daddies with a Z. I'm your boy, Big Daddy. I'm right here with my homeboy, Magnificent. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm hanging. Listen, man, that conversation we had was kind of crazy, man. That phone call we talked about, man, it made me think about something, about drama in relationships, right?
Drama.
So what happens, man? What happens when the sugar turns sour? Like, how much is too much with that drama?
I mean, I think it's based on your own personal experience with that particular individual, right? So, because I've had some where they introduced drama to me and I walked away.
Okay.
But I've also had some where drama came and I stayed.
Yeah. I think we both got them too. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Hey, man, and then it depends on what it costs.
Yeah. Cost factors is always cost something. What would you say is the most toxic situation? You know what I mean?
I mean, when you talk about toxic situation, I've been a part of several. I mean, I have.
Share the best one. Share the best one. I share one too, but share the best
I
one.
mean, I mean, I've been in, altercations where they did turn physical. And I'll be transparent with that. It's not that I'm a physical abuser or anything, but the relationship got to that point to where I'm always defend myself. All right. And so for me, if a woman puts her hands on me physically in some dramatic way, where we're in an altercation, I no longer see her as a woman. I see her as a threat. Okay? And so I have to remove the threat. Because a woman, in situations like that where they have turned, where it's real toxic and it's physical, emotional, and verbal abuse, it can go 1,000 different ways. I mean, it can lead to incarceration. It can lead to the hospital. It can lead to a lot of things,
Yeah.
And so I think, and so going back to what, the cost, especially when you are looking at how much you have invested as far as your time, your energy, and your efforts into that person. So, yeah, for me, I mean, I've been on both sides.
It's tough for me because I grew up watching my mom be in an abusive relationship, right? And now that I am in the situation I'm in, and in terms of we got this podcast, Sugar Daddies, the whole lifestyle, etc., I start to kind of understand my mom a little bit more.
Okay.
I would say my mama was a sugar baby, right?
Okay.
My mom dated this guy 17 years. He beat the shit out of her every day and always would remind me he wasn't my daddy, right? This dude was married and had a whole nother family. And I even went to school with his daughter, not from his wife, okay? I remember specifically sitting at the table one day playing cards with my brother. He teaching me how to play a game, and the wife showed up at our house. This dude was upstairs in my mom's bed. My mom came downstairs with a robe on, answered the door. Can I help you? Smitty here? Nah, he ain't here. When he come back, can you tell him the car broke down? My mama was a fucking G, though. She played her part as a sugar baby. Yeah. My mama said, when he come back, I'll let him know. Right now, I'm like, drama. Man, this dude would beat the shit out of my mom every day. So what am I saying? For me, D, it was hard because I cannot be in a toxic situation where any woman, sugar baby, wife, girlfriend, anybody want to put their hands on me. And I have been.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation. And so I ain't gonna put my hands on you because I saw what my mother went through. That's been my thing. But that's why I don't do the toxic thing. The moment it gets that way, I'm out. I'm done. I can't. Now, I've stayed longer than I probably should have, right? Because, I'm having fun. It's great. You think it's love and all that shit. But when it comes down to it, man, I can't do the toxic thing. Not for long, anyway.
Yeah. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that a little bit of drama is not okay?
No, I'm saying a little bit of drama is okay. But it goes back to what I even asked you earlier. It's like, how far do we go? How much is too much of the drama that we are willing to take before we're done? For me, that line is you putting your hands on me. Because I can put my hands on you. We can argue. We can do all those things that we do. But when it gets to the point where it gets physical for me, I got to remove myself. But I like a little bit of drama.
Well, I think you should. I think anybody should when it comes to something like that.
Yeah.
Even with the situation we were talking about with Shannon Sharp.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of that, I think
And
it's
that was
careless.
but it's drama, but it's not physical.
No, but that's not. You're right, but it's drama.
A physical abuse is what it means. It's emotional abuse as
Well,
well as verbal.
her allocations was that it was abusive. She alleged that it was rape. She alleged that it was physical abuse, and she had an audio tape that came out of a conversation between the two of them. They kind of supported somewhat her claims of him seeming to be abusive, right? But most of us would have taken it like that's just their thing. That's whatever they get into. But think about it. She's 20-year-old, right? Shannon Sharp, what? 45, 50 at least, right?
I think he my age.
I don't know. No,
55, something like that. He my age. Around that.
But he's a black man. She's a white woman, 20 years old, OnlyFans model. So for those of y'all who don't know about the Shannon Sharp situation, let me make this disclaimer. We're rooting for you. We hope you come out this thing. My personal, right?
What you call him, Unc?
Yeah,
Uncle Sharp.
well, that's what they all call him. They call him Unc.
Oh, they call him
Yeah,
Unc?
that's what they call him. They call him Unc on this podcast whole night.
Okay.
Now, let me say this too. I don't support abuse, rape, or any of that kind of stuff. I don't know the details. That was an intimate thing, so I don't support that. However, it seems a little fishy to me. Anytime there's rape, that's criminal. So when I hear rape and those kind of things, and it becomes about money and not about criminal, getting anybody in any trouble, my antennas automatically go up, for me personally. You go forward. For those who don't know, Shannon Sharp was involved at some capacity sexually with a 20-year-old white woman, OnlyFans model. Okay? I don't know if they were dating. I don't know if this was a one-off. I don't know if this was a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation. It kind of seems that way to me. It's obvious that they had conversations, right, based off of the audio that they had. She had his cell phone. They had conversations, and she know his name, and he knows her. So they had some type of relations, of course, right? She's alleged rape, sexual abuse, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So all we know, we weren't there. None of us were there. We would never know what really happened intimately or in that situationship that they had. What we do know is that undisclosed.
She got paid.
She got paid, an undisclosed amount. We know she got paid because she immediately announced her retirement from OnlyFans. So, toxic, man. Now, we know, come on, you and I, we talking about sugar daddies. We on this platform, right?
Okay.
So let's look at the dynamics of what that we're talking about. One, his net worth was $14 million.
Okay.
Roughly. And we know we got paper on what's on paper and what you make or whatever, but net worth $14 million. Because I don't care how you spend it or what have you, there's caps to everything. You know that from business, entrepreneur, right? So if you go to court, they look at what insurance policy you have. You look at how much you make or what have you. When it's civil, because this was a civil situation, it wasn't criminal, right? So in a civil situation, they look at the finances, they determine what you can do, what have you, and they make a determination. How the hell they sell it? How the hell she come at him for $50 million and he was just getting ready to sign this contract for $100 million?
He talked too
He
much.
talked too much. He should have been. So that's obviously that they had something.
Yeah, right.
Now it became dramatic.
Well, when you go back to looking at the dynamics of that situation and any sugar daddy relationship, it's still a relationship or some type of ship. And so I think when two people come together and they establish what those grounds are, just from a relationship standpoint, then one person may have an expectation and the other one may have one as well. And so obviously somebody didn't meet up to the expectations. So like for me in dramatic situations, being at the age I am now, I still deal with some of it. Why? I don't know if I'm attracted to it. I think I am. You know, I mean, for me, a woman that's too passive in certain situations is like a turnoff. Like you should speak up. If there's I give you an example. My previous relationship lasted for 6.5 years, and one of the things that irritated me more than anything was she was so passive about a lot of things she should have spoke up on. Okay, even when it came to me, and it would irritate me because I always thought that you being the woman that you are, you should say what you need to say, even if it's just your opinion, because you don't know what perspective you're gonna give other people when you say what you say. Okay, so but that became irritating and dramatic for me. It's not saying anything.
Well, it's crazy, man, because I agree with you. That's a form of abuse. A form of abuse is also when silence, right? That's not saying anything is saying a whole lot. For an example, I'll tell my lady, we're like, yo, you know, what's going on? What's happening? What's what? We're having a conversation, blah, 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 blah. Right, we're talking. And she be quiet as shit, just looking at me. I'm like, you don't hear me talking to you?
Yeah.
I'm processing. I'm processing. So to me, that also is a form of abuse, right? So just verbal, it ain't just you talking. It's when you shut down, not saying nothing, that's also a form of abuse. What the hell? Talk to me, right? For me, though, D, it's like this. My mom was an aggressor, right? So the older I got and I started, my mom has passed, love her to death, love you, Mom. I noticed, I started realizing that she would provoke the shit out you, right? The dude she was dating, man, he be trying to leave. She want to block the door. You know, she would attack him, but he was out of pocket. You know, but that was their thing. And she did that for 17 years. 17 hard years, man. And I can tell you story after story after story, right? And I believe everybody does at some point reach a tipping point, right? My mom, man, that's why I'm writing this book now. Why do I stay? I want to know why the hell my mom would stay after abuse, right? As a sugar baby, because that's what she was. He was taking care of her.
Yeah, I think at some point we become psychologically involved, where we start to crave the attention, the abuse, and our brains get rewired, so to speak. Because for me, I don't like anything boring. If you're boring, and I don't care how good you look. I like adventure, and sometimes adventure and awareness can bring about certain things when you are involved in a relationship with a woman, to where you start to discover things that you like and dislike about them, and vice versa. I'm sure I've had some sugar babies that dislike some of the things that I said. You know, with me using the term or the word bitch to a woman, you know, which is a whole lot of women don't like that term. Well, I actually don't like it either. Why do I use it? I haven't even discovered why when I get angry.
Culture.
Okay.
No, culture. Culture. In our culture, it's like the N word. Culture. Some people can say it, some people can't. It's culture. Women, when it comes to that, it's women can say it to another woman, and they my bitch, and they look,
right.
Go up to a woman and call her a bitch, see what happens.
Right.
So it's culture.
Right.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
You know, somebody hit our DMs, man, and they told us their story, right? They were in a situation, their sugar baby and their sugar daddy were married. And the sugar daddy was out one day with their wife, and the sugar baby showed up. And they told us in our DMs, they said, we said we're going to protect you, so we got you, right? But they said, man, she showed up in front of and confronted the wife. What you think about that? Drama.
Yeah, that's tougher. And what I mean when I say that's tough, I'm always defend my wife. Okay? But at that time, if I get busted, I'm going to throw my hands up and say what it is. All right? I may be in denial in the beginning. Okay? And one of the things I have a problem with is telling on myself. Okay? Because I have been confronted. I have. I've been confronted. Got confronted in a relationship. I was getting ready to go back up to my office, and I was with a young lady, and the young lady who I was in a relationship with showed up at the elevator at the same time.
What was that like?
No, it's very
No. What was going through your mind?
I'm busted. It was very uncomfortable. But in a wife sugar baby situation, you should always defend the wife.
For sure.
Okay? The sugar baby should never show up. If she show up, she should never say nothing.
If she know the rules.
That's right. If she know the rules. That's why I say, if you haven't established certain parameters with a sugar baby, like no sugar baby. Now, I had a situation that happened at the elevator, but it wasn't a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation, okay? None of my sugar babies ever confronted me if I was with somebody else, because I don't have no problem cutting you off. None. If you confront me, oh, my God. You gotta go find somebody else.
So let's talk about that one. So what advice would we give? The person that sent our DM was obviously the sugar baby, and her question pretty much was she out of pocket? And obviously, and we don't have enough information. I'm thinking that maybe the sugar baby started falling in love or something of the sort. There were feelings involved for sure, but specifically about that, what would you have done if one of the sugar babies did what they did, in our DMs?
To speak to her situation directly, you shouldn't have, and I'm saying you, shouldn't have shown, I mean, if you show up, you shouldn't have said anything, because number one, you could have went to jail. You were confronting a man with his wife, number one. Number two, you can potentially cut yourself off. You the sugar baby, which means you reaping the benefits of a relationship that you don't actually control. Or do you? I don't know.
Well, I left out one part of the story on purpose.
Okay.
She also said in our DMs, she confronted him because she pregnant.
Okay.
So now answer the question.
Well, wait a minute. Why would she confront him and she pregnant and not talk to him and say she's pregnant?
I don't know if she did or didn't, right? They didn't give us all of that.
But the only way she would confront him is if he is cut off. Maybe they had the conversation prior to, and he like, that ain't my baby. You know how they go.
Yeah.
And so he in denial, but that's the only real reason I could see she would confront him.
Yeah. Well, was she wrong?
No, if she really pregnant for him, I'ma say no, she not wrong at that time. I said she was, but I didn't have all the information.
Yeah. I
So
wanted to hit the
now that
wrong.
I got the context, now I got the context of the
Yeah.
story. I mean, and then there's another way to go about doing it. And I'll give you a personal testimony from my mother.
Okay.
When my mother was married, and she probably gonna kill me for saying this on there, but it's okay, mama.
Love you, mama.
She got pregnant by my father, who was married. And when she told him that she was pregnant for me, for him, he denied it. Okay? He denied it so much so that he took it to his grave because he died a few months ago.
Okay.
All right. DNA proved I was his daddy. But it's another story. I said that to say my mom was a super trooper. She didn't confront him. What she did was she owned her own, and when it came to being responsible, and said, okay, I'll raise him. And she did. And she never, as far as I know, she hadn't told me that part of the story, but from that point on, she never fooled with him again. She knew she had a responsibility in the matter, and she was a super trooper, man. She raised me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's always rules. So so that goes right into what we can go into of sweet and sour, right? So sweet and sour, as you all know, new followers and fans, of course, subscribe, click the subscribe button. But sweet and sour is we give you a statement. If it's sweet and you believe in it, you can say, hey, that's good. That's sweet. And you defend it, right? If it's sour, you be like, no, I don't rock with it. It's horrible. And then you defend it. So sweet or sour.
All right?
Is it sweet or sour for a sugar baby to ever confront the wife in front of the sugar daddy when they see each other in public? Sweet or sour?
Well, I think you already said that. You said it was sour. That's how you laid it into
No, that one, I believe it's sour in any capacity, right? And the reason why this is good, because you went on both sides. At first, you was like, it was sour, but we didn't have all the information. Then he was like, yeah. So at any capacity, I don't believe it's, so I'll say it's sour. I'll start out. It's sour for me because there's always rules. And to your point, if we talking and, we got to understand there's rules, don't ever confront me. Now, I don't have enough details on that specific situation. I just know me as a real man, as this person that would, I believe in honoring my word. So if I was in that situation, I was a sugar daddy, I would handle the responsibilities. That's just me, right? So for me, it's sour because you don't ever confront. You got to know the rules.
Well, yes. Also, going back to the flip side of the story, the sugar baby can still be responsible. And she can also say, okay, I laid down with this man. I understood the consequences. Okay? I slept with him, whether it was with a condom and it broke or it was without a condom. I'm pregnant. So, therefore, I take responsibility. If she's tried on multiple occasions to communicate, that's the only way I would see confronting him. I'm not against confronting somebody. I'm really not. I'm against it when the communication has been broken down and the sugar daddy don't want to communicate no more, and the sugar baby is saying something to you about a situation that she's having. Mm-hmm. Now, I have also been a part of a relationship where the sugar baby did tell me she was pregnant. I said, well, let's go take a pregnancy test. And we went to the store. Uh-huh. We went got it. And I said, okay, let's go. And they came back negative.
Word?
So what happened with that was we had cut it off. All right. And it wasn't 3 days, 4 days later that she called me and told me she was pregnant. Now, I was doing the timeline. I'm like, wait a minute. Me and you hadn't had sex in this amount of time. We done cut it off. And then 3 or 4 days, you all of a sudden you pregnant. So I started thinking in my mind, okay, it was rent time or money. I'm saying, okay, she needs some money. And the pregnancy story was her way of getting it rather than just asking for it. Okay. So that's when I said, okay, I'm gonna beat her to, because she was expecting for me to automatically believe what she was saying, and I didn't. And come to find out, she wasn't pregnant. That's why I said, okay, well, I'm on my way over there. When I got there, I just said, come on, get in the car. And then she said, where we going? I said, we finna go to the store. What we're gonna get? We're gonna get a pregnancy test because I need to see it. Because you ain't showed me nothing. You just telling me you pregnant.
Okay.
Well, so we had already broken the relationship off. But what it did for the relationship after that was I never spoke to her ever again in my life. I got as far away from her as I possibly could because I felt if you was gonna deceive me in that manner, what else would you deceive me in? So there was never gonna be anything between us.
Anybody who's been watching our podcast has heard me say plenty of times, one of my biggest pet peeves is for you to lie to me. You lie to me, right? And so I'm with you on that because that would dead it. Because similar situation happened to me. Similar situation happened to me where I had the sugar baby to send a video of her peeing on a stick and send it in text to me and my girl.
Boy, you was bold.
Send it. So I pride myself on being a man's man for real. If I fuck up, if I do something, I'm gonna own it, right?
Okay.
So when it happened, I'm out there. So I look at my girl and say, "You rock with me? What you doing?" She said, "I guess we're gonna raise it together." Okay. Now, I had an inkling that she was lying, so I go over. I said, "Hey, I bought another one from the store with me. I went and picked up a pregnancy test.
Mm-hmm.
Piss on this stick right now in front of me. Right here, right now. You send a video, piss on it." She wouldn't do it. Drama. Well, I got to do that for you. You don't believe me? Hell no, I don't believe you. Because me and you openly communicate. What the hell you sending the video for? What you trying to, what's the problem? Right? So she held on to this thing though, for real. She held on to, I'm pregnant. Okay, cool. A week go by, or so, a little time go by, and she say, "I got an appointment with the doctor." For what? I'm having some complications. What kind of complications? And she goes and tells me, pain, I'm bleeding, spine, blah, 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 blah. She then tells me she's pregnant her tubes. Right? And I'm like, hell, what's up? What's going on? She tells me they got to do some emergency procedure on her, and they got to go in because she's pregnant in tubes and so forth and so on. Now,
so she's playing this whole role out.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert, right? We need to get a doctor on so maybe we can talk about this, right? But she told me she was pregnant in tubes. She didn't spend the night in the hospital. She didn't spend a day, 2 days in the hospital. It was a outpatient procedure, she tells me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm out of town. When I get to her house, I want to see everything. Right? I'm like, let me see it. With a mark, what the doctor say. Let me see the paperwork. Let me see your
papers.
Let me see something. Now, I can't make this up, man. She had one of them ace bandages kind of wraps around her waist. That's all she showed me. I said, well, take the ace bandage off. I just changed it. I can't. What the fuck you mean? Take the ace bandage off. Right? Wouldn't do it. I never saw no paperwork, right? Now, here's what I'm saying.
How did y'all end, though?
I in my heart of hearts, I knew she was lying to me. My mom, before she had a hysterectomy in her latter years, she was pregnant in her tubes, and I even though I was younger, I remember. I remember her procedure. She was kind of weak, man. She won't up and moving around. That's a procedure, right? It's a surgical procedure, from what I know. Again, not a doctor, but it's a surgical procedure. You up and walking good, like no ace bandage wrapped around you.
Right.
I don't remember my mom having that. My best friend, one of my best friends growing up in the 3rd grade, his ex-wife, I remember when she was pregnant in the tubes. Man, she had to go to the hospital to have a surgical procedure. So my point is, I knew she was lying. I knew she was lying. So for me, my pet peeve, I did some stuff to hurt and all that kind of stuff, and I knew that. But my point is, don't go to the extreme of lying to that capacity. And then you stirring up the drama with me and my situation, and you're going to send a video, you pissing, and you won't pregnant. Man, come on.
So it's sour.
Hell yeah, sour for me. Sour.
That is.
Hey, listen, we thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all more than you know. But look, we need more. Help us get there. Click that subscribe button. Come on, subscribe to the podcast.
Page.
Like it, follow, tell a friend, share.
Contact
next
3
time.
people.
Yeah, 3 people. Come on. Hey, well, we appreciate you. Till next time.
Also, TikTok. We just went over 5,000 members in 2.5 months. Help us to get this next 5,000 in the next 30 days. Can we get there?
I think we can get there. We can do it. Come on, show us some love. This has been Sugar Daddies. Real talk.
Real connections.